All right, first up, number 2 here. So we're going to set this up in vertex form. So it's going to have some a value right there, and then in vertex form, I switch the x value, but keep the y value the same. And then I'm going to use the other point here for x and y to figure out what that a value is. Got to be careful with my PEMDAS here. So I'm going to say -3 equals a times -2 squared plus 1, and -2 squared would be 4a. So I'm going to subtract 1 over here. So 4a equals -4. Divide by 4, and a equals -1. And so now I'm going to go back to this first step, and I'm going to take this equation that I already had, and I'm going to plug in my -1 for a right there. This did ask for it in standard form, so I'm going to have to expand this. So I'm going to write x minus 2 twice, and then I'm going to do a box here, multiplying it by itself. So that's going to be x squared, -2x, -2x, and then +4. So I'm going to rewrite this with that -1 out front, and then instead of this parentheses, I'm going to fill it out with what's in the box here, which is x squared, and this turns into -4x, and then +4, +1, and we'll go ahead and distribute the -1 there. So we got -x squared plus 4x minus 4 plus 1. And lastly, just combine like terms there. That's then two numbers out back, so they'll combine to make -3. All right, next up here, we need to find out whether the function has a max or a min. So for these, we always do that by the vertex, or sorry, not the vertex, by a. If a is positive, then this will be a min. It means that the parabola is opening up, so that you can see the vertex there is at the bottom. And then for the part B, we find the vertex, so x equals -b over 2a. And that's going to be -4 over 2 times 2. So that's -4 over 4, and that's -1. I'm going to plug this back in to find y. So I need to do PEMDAS here, so I'm going to do my exponent first. And then we'll multiply. And then we'll do our adding / subtracting. So 2 minus 4 is -2, minus 5 is -7. And so that's going to be my y value of my vertex. That's also the minimum. So I know the vertex here is -1, -7. Now for domain, I know that the domain is always all real numbers. And for the range, I know that our lowest y value is -7. And it goes up from there. So I'm going to say y is greater than or equal to -7. All right, next up here, I need to solve these by factoring. So I need to get one side to 0 first, which it already is. Then I'm going to use my box here. So I got -8 on top, +7 on bottom. So two numbers that multiply to -8 and add to +7 will be 8 and -1. So I make this r. It doesn't really matter the order, but I'll do r minus 1, r plus 8 equals 0. So that means I can split this up and solve each of these parentheses equal to 0 individually. If I subtract the 8 over and I add the 1 over. So there's my two answers. All right, next up here, I need to get one side to 0. I'm going to move everything to the left side because I really like my squared term to be positive. So I'm going to keep that on the left and move these guys over like this. Now I need to factor it, thinking of two numbers that multiply to 36 and add to -12. So that'll be -6 and -6. So p minus 6 times p minus 6 equals 0. Now in this case, we kind of got the same thing twice. And so whenever that happens, you really only need to solve it once. So I'm going to say p equals 6. All right, next up, number 10. So this one, once again, I want to get everything to one side. So I'm going to add the 19k over here. So I get 10k squared plus 19k plus 9 equals 0. I'm going to use an x here, but I kind of already know I need to use the grouping because I have this 10k squared here. So I'm going to set that up so I don't forget. I just need to figure out how I'm going to split up this 19k in the middle, and I do that with my x. So a times c here is 90, and b is 19. So I know that 10 and 9 will multiply to the top and add to the bottom. So I'll do 10k and 9k. And the order on that could switch. We should get the same thing either way. So now I'm going to do my grouping. So I take out 10k in this first group, giving me k plus 1. And I take out 9 in this group, giving me k plus 1 as well, which means my parentheses are 10k plus 9 and k plus 1 equal to 0. So now I do need to split these up and set them equal to 0 individually. So k equals negative 9 over 10. And then for this one, k plus 1 equals 0. So k equals negative 1. So we did get a fraction answer here. We don't really need to do anything with that fraction. It's just a fraction answer. All right, next up, number 12. We already have one side to 0, but I do notice we have a GCF here of 2, so I'm going to take that out front. So you do have to watch out for that GCF. If you have one, you really need to take it out front. And now I am going to do my x here, thinking of two numbers multiplied to negative 24 and add to 10. I am going to have to do the grouping because I have the 3x squared there still, but I need to figure out how to split this up. So I'm thinking 6 and 4, but you know what? No, I take that back. You can't make the negatives work with 6 and 4. So I'm actually going to use 12 and 2. If I make this one negative, that's going to multiply to negative 24, but add to a positive. So that's how I'm going to split this up. So 12x and then negative 2x. And then we'll do our grouping here. So this group I can take out 3x, leaving me with x plus 4. This group negative 2, leaving me with x plus 4. So then I get 3x minus 2 times x plus 4 equals 0. And so I get 3x minus 2 equals 0. And x plus 4 equals 0, so I'll solve those. I add the 2. So 3x equals 2. Divide by 3, so x is 2/3. And then on this one, I just subtract the 4, so x equals negative 4. All right, last up here, we'll graph these functions. So this is in vertex form, and so that's really easy to find the vertex. We just switch the sign of the x value and keep the sign of the y value. So I know that the vertex is actually right there. And so then next up I need the y-intercept. The y-intercept I need to plug in a 0 for x and actually do the math here. So 4 times 1 squared, 4, so 1 squared is 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. So I have a y-intercept right there. Remember I have my axis of symmetry going through the vertex. So that means I got another kind of matching dot over here. And then there's my parabola.